Hi all, Chris Oliver here. It's, got some good reverb in this version. It is, Tuesday, September the 27th, and I never did fix the date on my camera. And, well, I had a prediction for today that something would happen. Told the internet and a fair number of people in person. Turns out I was wrong. What can you do? This is all very new to me. My mission started, well, it depends how you slice it, but I left the desert on August 12th, and so that's kind of when things started really coming to me. It's when I self-actualized my true form. It's when my mission became more clear. And I wanted to make a video about my trip to the desert, but I realized there's a few other things I wanted to talk about, so I'm going to make two videos and probably upload them at the same time. But yeah, September 27th, I was wrong. This is all new to me. I've been decently good about saying I could be wrong pretty much the entire time I've been doing this, because it's true. I am just a man, I make mistakes. So it could be September 27th of next year. That doesn't make as much sense to me as September 27th of this year, but I'm not going to make any more predictions about dates. Someone suggested, well, one person has suggested that it is my raising awareness of it that has prevented whatever has happened, but that sounds much too grandiose to me. You know, I feel that I play an important role, but I don't feel I play that important of a role. You know, I don't feel that anything I do is that influential. Evil has a plan, and evil's gonna stick to it for the most part, I would assume. I mean, they've been building up to these things for 2,000 years. I can't imagine little me really stopping them in any way. So that's all I have to say about that. I was wrong. What can you do? You make mistakes. In other news, I'm still here in Denton, Texas. I'm getting pretty ready to leave. I feel I've done what I can do here. There is one more venue with an open mic later this week that I have not been to, that I will be attending. I'll probably be going back to Abbey Underground for their Sunday open mic, because it's a good crowd. I handed out a lot of business cards last time, and I guess I get to go eat some crow there because I did share my 27th. There's another place here in town that does stand-up comedy open mics, and I kind of invaded that with my 5% comedy, 95% message set last time. I actually have a background in stand-up comedy, not an extensive one, but I used to go to open mics and do stand-up comedy is what I should say. So I'm thinking about just kind of challenging myself and writing an actual stand-up comedy set, assuming that doesn't overlap with the other open mic. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. In other news, yeah, still in Denton, getting pretty ready to leave. I'm seeing a lot of the same faces. I'm talking to fewer people each day. I kind of feel like what I can do here has been done here, and it's a lovely little town, Denton, Texas. If you ever live here, I suggest you seek out as many friends and as much art as you possibly can. There's a great music scene. It's not what it used to be, because unfortunately this town has lost pretty much all its great clubs, which is, it breaks my heart in some ways, but thankfully the music has moved out to the houses here in town, so I'm told there's a lot of house parties and house shows and that sort of thing, and that's equally awesome. It sadly won't draw the national acts that the clubs used to draw, because I've seen Dismemberment Plan and Enon and Ted Leo and the Pharmacists, and just all sorts of great bands that aren't huge but are still out there touring, and some of the greatest shows I've ever seen, just hands down. Dan Deacon, I saw Dan Deacon here. That was a good show. So yeah, if you come to Denton, I highly suggest you live it up as much as you can. Try not to get too wrapped up in the bar scene, because there's a lot of drinking here. But get out before it makes you better. And this advice is probably way too late to anyone who might see it, but that's my advice about Denton. A quick shout out to a lovely dude named Andy. Andy gave me a watch today, and that improves my quality of life, just knowing what time it is. It sounds so ridiculous because you take it for granted until you don't know what time it is, and it doesn't really matter to my schedule. But if I want to, coordinate where I can see other people and where I can avoid being detected, that's all I'm saying about that. That's a good thing, and the watch will let me rest easier at night. So thank you, Andy. It was much appreciated. He also gave me a poncho, which was nice of him, which I haven't needed to use yet because he gave it to me after the big rainstorm, but still a very kind gesture. I have a new plan. Originally, when I set out, I was going to just try and find other places like Denton, bohemian college towns where I could just go and sit and talk to people, but I have a new plan, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. That's pretty much all I'm saying. Excuse me, all I'm saying about that online. I have a new plan, and I haven't figured out the logistics of it. I haven't figured out how I'm getting out of Denton yet. Um, but I still have a lot of faith. I have a faith in my mission. I have a faith in myself. I have faith that I am perfectly safe all the time. Yeah, I have faith. So the mission is not over, but the plans have changed a bit. I must admit, there is part of me that wants to just tuck my tail back between my legs and go back to my lovely home in California and live with the old man I was living with because I do love the dude, and pet my cat, or I guess I should say his cat at this point because he's her human now. Uh, but I made a promise to the greatest power you could possibly make a promise to, and I will always be on this mission to some degree or another. And there's, the money thing. The money thing. There's been a few people here who have given me single dollars. I never ask for it. There's been other people who have offered me more money. Some random woman tried to give me $10, and I just said no. I don't want your money. I just, wanted a few minutes of your time. And it was her birthday. Happy birthday, whatever your name was, lady. I've met too many people. I've embarrassingly forgotten about half their names. I must admit. But still in Texas. Still have faith. Still moving on. Probably gonna be here another couple weeks. Thankfully, my housemate from California will be in town this weekend, so I get to see him, which will be great. I do miss the old man. And the weekend after that, I'm gonna spend another day with an old friend that I've known for about 20 years, someone I went to high school with who happens to still be here, who's been picking me up the last couple Sundays and letting me just hang out in his house, let me wash my clothes and take a shower last time, which was much appreciated because I've been washing my clothes in a sink, which is fine for getting them, clean enough, but drying them outside, they do tend to get a little stiff. Nothing like putting on a stiff pair of undies. So I feel like I'm about to just start rambling at this point, so I'm going to say goodbye for now and make the first part of my desert video for the third time. First time I did it, didn't tell the whole story, wasn't happy with it. Second time I did it, got interrupted in the middle of it, had to stop. So here we are. Much love. I love you all very much. I hope you're doing well.